All right, let me give you an analogy. It's not that complicated. You're making it way more complicated than it really is. Let's say a marriage is kind of like picking out a direction to drive from one place to another. One place to another is, let's say, from young adult, which is the beginning of marriage. You're driving from young adult to senior citizen with grandchildren and the whole thing. And if it was a road situation, you would realize, okay, this is a long trip. I've got to get myself to a highway, and the destination is that location quite a distance from here. And you'll figure out maybe if you're going to make a rest stop along the way. Um, you're certainly not going to drive off the road. You're not going to, uh, you know, drive your two-wheel drive vehicle. You're not going to drive it, try to drive it through someone else's property. That would be a good analogy for adultery. You're not going to drive through the inner city where you're going to get stopped and slowed down and there may be a lot of traffic lights. You're going to try to get into a situation where it's a nice neighborhood, a friendly surroundings, where maybe you're close by your relatives, all those things. So what does it boil down to? It boils down to finding someone that's a good fit for what you believe. You don't just look, look at a crowd and say, "Oh, that person I want to marry," and other things. Everything about that person isn't important. The only thing that's important is their initial attraction to you. Some people talk about chemistry, like it's all physical chemistry. Um, there's a bit more. I mean, that's part of it for sure. But who is this person that you're considering as your mate for life? So it's all really gets down to the process of selection. And if society is geared up for that, and if society is geared up for honoring marriage, society would take part in the selection process, would be helpful in the selection process. Now, is going to a nightclub and trying to pick someone up at a nightclub, is that part of the selection process? No, that's obviously not a really good place to find someone that has what you're looking for. I mean, physically maybe, but that's about as far as it goes. So the best way is to focus your attention on your career. Focus your attention on preparations for where you want to live. Be in the place that function near where you actually want to have your home. I mean, there's in Christianity there are roles. There's a role for a man and a role for a woman. A woman's role in life is more centered around the house, and having a career around the house, whereas the man's role in life is to make it possible for a woman to have her career around the house, around the family, doing business. I mean, she could be a businesswoman. She could be, be quite enterprising. If you go to Proverbs 31, you'll see a description of a woman of noble character. So, be somewhere between childhood and young adulthood, quite a bit of knowledge should be derived from collected wisdom so that a good selection can be made. So the questions that you're asking me, they really wouldn't be major issues. What about wife beating? What about who who your friends are? I mean, I don't have them in front of me, but the point is, those things are sorted out as you're growing up. I mean, you have the wisdom. Now, some people won't do it right, for sure. But if society is trying to iron it out, the wisdom and maturity, though you didn't have it in the beginning, people can still, if they got married, that love that was there from the start will sustain them through the process of becoming more suitable for each other. I mean, if you make a good choice, the compatibility is already there, so the marriage should go quite well, because you've got everything is moving in the right direction. It's not like you're going to get lost. If you're driving from one point to another, there's the shortest way, and then there's a difficult way that'll take longer. Now, of course, if you've planned ahead, you'll have a lot of free time. You'll have a lot of quality time together. If you didn't plan ahead, well, maybe it'll be stressful. Some financially stressful. Maybe you won't have all the you won't have all the support close by like you should. We see that people meet someone, they go to college and they meet someone that's from the other side of the country. Now, where are you going to live? Are you going to live near either set of parents? Or maybe you're just going to go off on your own and start a family, and you don't have much of a support mechanism when you become parents. So, you want to make it difficult, you can. If you want to if you want to look at the bright side of doing things in a godly way, you will find that there are quite a few benefits, and they are logical. They make sense. But if you reject the wisdom that you can find in Scripture, you'll have to learn it the hard way, on your own. I'll stop at that point.